So, just a little PSA. Let God heal the broken places. For years I've said this, that we should be honest with God. Let Him know. Well, tell Him everything. Tell Him when you're angry. Tell Him when you're sad. Tell Him when... Tell Him when it gets too heavy. If you... I get it. I really do. God is sovereign. And who are we, who are finite, to rear our ugliness up to a sovereign God? That's not the point. That is not the point. What is hidden cannot be healed. You can't mask pain from God. You just can't. The same way your spouse knows when you are holding something against them, you don't have to say it. You don't have to. You don't even have to be loud about it. They just can sense from an underlying eeriness that there is something between the two of you that has not been discussed but is driving you apart. They can tell. The same way with God. God knows when your heart towards Him is trying its very, very best to hold on. But you don't have much to hold on to because of the pain and the anger, because of something that happened. God knows He was there. He was there. It's not going to hurt God's feelings if you tell Him, I am angry because you said you made this promise, but I don't see it, and I haven't seen it, and what I'm going through doesn't look like it's ever going to come to pass. He knows. This is a journey. It's not a sprint. Everybody likes to say that because it makes it sound like this walk is absolutely noble, and at the end of it, you will be rewarded with great rewards, which is very true. However, there are things that go on during the journey that make you want to quit, that make you want to cry, that make you want to pull out your teeth, that make you want to die, that make you think that none of this is worth it and it's all for nothing. There are things along the journey that will cause you to want to quit. And God knows that. These are the places that break you. And if you can't admit it to God, then they'll just break you. Allow God to heal the broken places. Tell Him everything. Tell Him you're upset. Tell Him you are mad. Tell Him about the time that this happened and He could have done something but He didn't. Maybe you're ready for the answer. Maybe you aren't. Just tell Him. Be honest with Him. Open your heart. Opening your heart in worship and praise in church is not the only way to open your heart to God. Opening your heart to God happens every single time the enemy brings up something that absolutely cripples you and breaks your ankles. Because the enemy is good for reminding people of all of the times that God maybe might have failed, but he really didn't. He's a liar and an accuser of the brethren. Don't you think he will accuse God of as well? He did it in the Garden of Eden. He's still doing it now. Any way he can cause a wedge between you and God, he will. This is why it is very imperative, as children of the Most High King, as citizens of his kingdom, to come boldly to his throne of grace and say, this made me mad. This upset me. This still hurts. Tell him everything. Tell him everything. Expose the broken places in you. Allow him to expose the broken places in you. Satan thinks he's winning. He's not. What he's doing, really, is creating a vulnerable and intimate moment between you and your Father so he can fix it. Lest we forget that Satan was demoted. He was kicked out of the court of heaven, but he still has to bow to the king. And if the devil comes in to drive a wedge between you and God through a falsity, miscommunication, misunderstanding, he'll do it. He'll make one up. Or he'll use a sensitive moment of your past to do so. Tell God everything. Tell him where it hurts. Tell him where you're weak. All it is doing, again, is creating an intimate and vulnerable moment between you and the Father. I had that moment this morning. I had a mental and emotional breakdown last night over something that I had lost just at the end of last year. And even though I was trying to hold it together, I really was not. I felt that I looked crazy. And if I felt that I looked crazy, I know I did. But I told the Holy Spirit this morning, I know it was you holding me together. I know you were present in that moment. Tell him everything. Tell him everything. Let him expose those points of weaknesses to you so that your heart can be healed. God does not heal part way. God heals wholly. You are wholly healed. Holy, whole, peace, shalom. Nothing missing, nothing broken. That's how God heals us. And if he has to heal our minds before he heals our bodies, he will definitely do so. Allow God to heal the broken places. Expose every single point of weakness. Allow him to expose them to you so that it can create that moment where you give it to him and tell him, I'm still weak here. This still breaks my heart every time the thought comes up. Can I cast it down? Yeah, most assuredly, if my mind was stable in that moment, yes, I could. But there are going to be moments where you won't be able to cast down, cast out, or cast anywhere. You have to allow God to hold you in those moments, and you have to allow yourself to go through the exposure of brokenness. And tell him, I'm broken here. He will hold you. The moment will pass. He will hold you during the entire thing. And then once the moment's over and the storm is past, sit in it. Don't stop talking to him. Sit in it and tell God, I'm still broken here. This still hurts. It's okay. It really is okay. If you can't be open with God, there is no reason for you to talk about how much people will backbite you and tell all your business. And some people are just ready to hear all your business so they can run and tell somebody else. If you are not willing to tell God first and to tell God everything. We love to talk about how unfaithful and what's the word? We'll just go with unfaithful. How unfaithful people are when we can't even be faithful to God enough to give Him the raw emotions of our experiences. You don't have to be respectful, no. Do you have to cuss? No, you don't. However, if you can't be raw and open in a moment of weakness with Him, then you don't need to be talking about what people do to people and backbiting and gossip. But give God everything. Love you. Bye.